Hello, hello. Welcome to another day of meditation challenge. I hope you're doing fine. Um, for me, it certainly has affected me quite a lot, and I've seen almost like I open up a can of worms. So curious to hear how a regular meditation and health optimization practices are affecting and changing your days for real, not just um oh, I think there are some changes. You will, if you do things correctly, you will see the changes. So talking about opening a can of worms, it's almost like you open it and just new and new stuff keeps coming out. And well, with practicing 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 meditation for the sake of rising awareness, you'll be able to witness what arises, they say, and what arose for me, which was quite significant, is betrayal. Betrayal. And it actually happening now. So it's kind of process. Now I figure out I've been betrayed. Um, and well, you can imagine it stirs up a lot of things. I'm sure any of us have experienced that, and it's not pleasant. Um, but because we are doing these things, we choose, or actually, we more like understand that, believe it or not, it's not personal. And I like to see things from other perspective. Now, did I experience all the, usual feelings of like, well, kind of like shock, I guess, hurt, a lot of anger, um, and also victimization. Why is this happening to me? And then fear, because this betrayal actually at the moment is affecting me a lot because, well, suddenly 75% of my money was wiped out while I'm in the country where I cannot work, and so I have to do things online only. And I'm still like learning how to do things, so it's not like happens overnight. So obviously, it's not pleasant, and maybe I look like I'm dealing with in mature way, but there was a lot of, like I said, all these emotions coming, and obviously I was processing them, and I wanted to report, how I'm going through it. And ultimately, what I'm doing is, well, mixing between like losing myself in these emotions, and just have like anger monologues and just get really, like really angry. I also get like, how can you be so stupid to trust somebody that would do something like that? Quite obviously, even like very backstabbingly. Um, basically stole my money. Well, didn't give me back and just stop answering. And it's especially we had a friendship for like years, and you don't expect that, especially when you're kind of dependent on it. So there's a lot of these emotions happening. But also, with what I'm doing is there will be glimpses of freedom from so what, because even like bless you, like just thank you almost, and because what you do is like when you're able to observe it without attachment, you actually see the freedom. You experience the freedom of the patterns, the freedom of pain in a way, freedom of yeah, all these circumstances, and it feels good. However, which actually I wanted to talk about this more is that the next day you wake up, and then you go back. So I was looking, like, wow, this, I observed this pattern, that you something happens, you get through these emotions, and then maybe you even find, most of the times we don't find the way, because you don't have enough awareness to see it in a different perspective. It's all about that, but when you do, you see it in a different way, and but that different way maybe doesn't last that long. And then what happens is that, when you practice something for so long, for instance, being betrayed is like, it's kind of like in the victim pattern, that something happened to you. So you've been practicing probably this all your life. So imagine now literally your neurological pathways in your body has been trained, subconscious has been trained so much that it became automated. That's the whole problem, because with awareness, ultimately you're living in the present, but all these things are automated. So how can, you cannot be present, things are just happening almost kind of for you, without your awareness. So when you start to realize these patterns, you can see like what are you going to do about it. And well, I was saying, like, you kind of, when you escaped, that this next day when you wake up, things can come, often do come crashing back, and it's not because you did something wrong, but because it's a process where things that have been trained so long, they're not like, usually it can happen if you have some profound experience, but they don't just go away, they can reappear again in some different angle, showing you some different thing, which is again, invitation to practice awareness and to see what different thing, and in a way there is a stop to it, because there is a sun on the other side of clouds, but then the clouds keep coming, and how I'm now dealing with all these things is that I will, well, I was just writing things down, and I was saying that I will, it opens up the pattern of frustration and powerlessness, when you cannot do nothing in this particular situation. I also don't know, sometimes do you let go? Do you let somebody who did bad things get away? Or do you keep ruminating on it, or you get even, all these things come through your mind, but it's also like about experiencing powerlessness, and basically, like, well, what do you do when this patterns keeps coming back? Okay, just resolve it, keeps coming. Well, the thing is, like, you didn't quite resolve it, because then it's like a trigger, so it keeps triggering you, there's more things, so this is not like, then for like self-abusers out there to keep kind of abusing, oh, more, it's me, because then that's a pattern in itself, and you need to, well, you don't need to, but if you become aware of it, you start to see, it's, you might start to see like how these dynamics, they usually things, beliefs and emotions, they feed into each other, something opens this, something, that's why I said kind of worms, something opens this, something opens, and it's all connected. When you don't have awareness, you're going to get lost, and then getting overwhelmed and lost, it's another pattern, but if you become aware, you can actually see them almost like in front of you. Sometimes not, you get I get pulled into it, the mind addiction is a strong one. But I would like to believe, well, I like to know, well, I think I do, well, I know that the path is to not just go back to things, because I don't want to go back to like dysfunctional patterns. I want to be aware of them. I want to overcome them. So what you do and what I will do, I will continue the practice. And what I'm doing is like, I continue the practice. Okay, that's what happened. It keeps returning back. So let's address it in a different angle. And then let's address the frustration of having to address it in a different angle again and again and again. What if it never stops? Let's address that. You see what I'm saying? So whatever comes, you work with it, And this betrayal, I'm seeing it's open up other things. You could see everything as a positive and negative. So um, so all kinds of things happen. You can also see it like, well, how am I doing this to somebody else? If this happened to me, it's like a circle. I must be doing it somewhere else. This is not for the ones that have never blamed somebody else, always blame themselves, because that's a problem, as well. So then for those people, it's always every time it's always like you have to be in the moment, so if you've been doing this for a while and self-accusing, then maybe for a change, just accuse somebody else just to see how it's like, and vice versa, and then maybe when you become aware of these dynamics, maybe you can see it and you can step out of that one. Maybe you'll encounter something new, when you build up awareness muscle, it actually becomes easier and easier, also these patterns, you start to train your mind. The beginning is a bit difficult. It's like, oh, again, but it's like a rocket launching in the cell, like this rocket launching in the space. The beginning, it takes a lot of power, but then as the patterns start to change, because there's neuroplasticity of the brain, so things become to change, you start to change, and there's no more reasons to go down the same street anymore, you know or you can go down the same street, but because you are different, things are different. That one is also a very deep one. So, or maybe it's an obvious one, but either way, enjoy the benefits of realizing it. So, today, this is what I wanted to report. There's a whole bunch of things, but I cannot, I feel like already mixing a lot of things in one video with reporting. I notice as well that I am going more to, or like I'm trying to be present and report, but I'm trying to also introduce more structure, so maybe I talk about one topic, two topics, and not lose the rawness and not become too mechanical, so I'm kind of trying out what works best for me, and I kind of imagine you, watching that. I'm actually I'm kind of curious about you, what works, and I really am actually, and I'm kind of like, what works for you, somebody is like this. Oh, how are you like? You prefer this. Um, yeah, it's fun to know, like different perspectives. We all have one, you know. So uh what I want to say is like, yeah, I'll report mine, and yeah, I'm simultaneously curious about you. You think you're just the um that I don't see, you're there. It's just basically it's video talking to you, but you are there. I know, because you're watching this. So you're not passive. You think you're watching this and you're passive, it's like, oh, you're not seen. You are seen, thinking about you, wherever you are. But you get the point, I hope. So anyway, so much about this. I was saying this topic today, I wanted to use the actual experience that is happening to me, report about it, betrayal, we can all relate to it. And then what do you do? And I put the parallel, like, it's not about just betrayal, but it's about things returning again and again. And that being a pattern within itself, that if you want to liberate yourself, you will become aware. So much for today. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you for listening and enjoy your day.